Okay, my friends, today we're going to be doing the review for Chapter 10. We're finishing up Chapter 10 and we're going to be taking our test. So let's go over everything that we've learned so far. We're on page 631, and the first part of it is the vocabulary. So let's talk a little bit about the hour. What hour means: AM, half hour, PM, quarter hour, digital, minute, and analog. So number 1 says, the long hand on an analog clock is if you remember, the long hand ticks around for the minutes. Cross minutes out because I use that. Okay, number 2 says the shorthand on the analog clock is, if the long hand is the minute, that leaves us with the shorthand is the hour. Number 3, 15 minutes is so when the clock moves around 15 minutes, it's been a quarter hour, a quarter of an hour. Remember quarter past and quarter till? Okay, number 4, 30 minutes is a half hour. Okay, I'm going to cross out quarter and I'm going to cross out half. Okay, number 5. A clock that uses hands to show the time is it's either digital or analog. It's going to be analog. Don't quite fit it in there. Okay, number 6. A clock that uses numbers to show the time that one is called a digital clock. Cross out digital and analog. Okay, we're left with AM and PM. So let's look at number 7. The hours from noon to midnight are, remember we said they're past morning, so that would be PM. Okay. We're left with AM. The hours from midnight to noon are, remember, after midnight, AM. Okay, let's turn the page to 632. Let's fix this. There we go. Okay, read the time, write the time. Let's look at number 9 at the top. Our hour hand, remember it's the smaller hand, it's pointing, is it at the 6? Not quite yet, so that means it's still the 5 o'clock hour, right? So it's going to be 5. If you haven't memorized what it means when the minute hand is on the 9, let's skip count and find out what time it is. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So the hour is 5 and the minutes are 45. Okay, number 10. Look at the hour hand first. It's a little past the 4, but it's not quite the 5, so we know it's going to be in the 4 o'clock hour. The minute hand is pointing at the 2, so we go 5, 10. That means it's 4:10. Okay, let's look at number 11. The hour hand is It's not quite on the 7, so we know it's still the 6 o'clock hour. It hasn't quite made it there. We have the minute hand on the 8. So let's skip count around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So it's 6 is the hour, and the minutes are 40. It is 6:40. Let's look at number 12. Tell what time is shown and draw the hands on each clock. So number 12, on the digital clock, it says 7:35. So let's go in and draw the hour hand. Remember, the hour hand is a little bit smaller. It's the shorter hand. So 7 and 35. So I'm going to skip count my way around the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That means that my minute hand and my hour hand are going to be about the same. Okay? That says 7:35. Let's do number 13. The digital clock says 4:25. Let's draw our hour hand first. It's going to be right about the 4. Okay, did my hour hand in red. Let's do our minute hand. So we're going to skip count around the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Means our minute hand is going to be pointing at that 5. Okay, let's look at 14. Hopefully this is really easy for you so that when you get to the test, you're going to fly right through it. Let's do number 14. The digital clock says 6:55. Let's draw our hour hand first. It's going to be past the 6 this time because now it's 6:55. It's almost 7 o'clock. That means our hour hand should be almost at that 7, but not quite. Okay. 55. Let's skip count around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So our minute hand is going to be pointing at that 11. Okay. Let's move down to number 15. Circle the best choice. Walking the dog. Am I going to walk the dog at 11:45 a.m. or 11:45 p.m.? Okay, so if we're looking at the clock, 11:45 is about a quarter, can be. It's either going to be a quarter till noon or a quarter till 12 in the afternoon or a quarter till midnight if we do p.m. So we definitely want to walk the dog at 11:45 a.m. Okay, now let's look at number 16. Go hiking. Are we going to want to go hiking at 2:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m.? Okay, so if we do 2:30 a.m., that means it's just past midnight, right? It's 2 hours and 30 minutes past midnight. So we're going to want to go hiking 2.5 hours after noon. I want to do that in the afternoon. All right, 17. Wash dinner plates. We wash dinner plates at 6:30. Dinner is the clue. We wash dinner plates at 6:30 a.m. or after midnight or 6:30 past the morning. Definitely want to do those dishes, those dinner dishes at 6:30 p.m. Okay, let's turn the page. We are now on page 633. We're going to do a few word problems. Hopefully they're not too terrible. I know how everyone feels about word problems, including in my house. Nobody's a big fan of word problems in my house either. It's okay, we'll do them together. Okay. 18. Read them with me. on a clock, the hour hand is between the 2 and the 3. So it's going to be between this number and that number. The minute hand is on the 5. So let's start off with our hour hand. It's telling us that the hour hand is between the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my hour hand right there, between the 2 and the 3. Now it's telling me that my minute hand is on the 5. So I'm going to take my minute hand and I'm going to draw it and put it on the 5. Okay. What time is it? Show the time on both clocks. Well, my hour is definitely not 3. It's between the 2 and the 3. That means it's still the 2 o'clock hour. So I know that. Let's skip count around and find out what the minutes are. You ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the hour we said is 2, and the minutes are 25. Okay? Number 19. The time is 9 o'clock. In 6 hours, Greg will leave school. What time will it be in 6 hours? Circle AM or PM. Okay, so let's see. So it's 9 o'clock, and it says that Greg will leave school. So that must mean it's 9 o'clock in the morning, right? But let's count and see if in 6 hours it will still be AM or if it will turn to PM. So I'm going to start at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to go around 6 hours. So 1 hour, 10, 2 hours, 11, 3 hours, 12. All right, so now it's no longer AM because I've reached the 12 o'clock hour. Now I need to go a few more hours. I need to go 3 more. So 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. So it's 3 o'clock. So let's write 3 o'clock. Now we decided it wasn't AM because we passed noon. It's now past morning. So he will leave school at 3 p.m. Okay, number 20. Derek has baseball practice at 2:30. Luke has practice at 4:15. Show the times on the clocks. Write the time and circle if it would be AM or PM. Okay, so let's do Derek first. Derek has baseball practice at 2:30. So let's go in and draw the hands on our clock. I'm going to go halfway between the 2 and the 3 for my hour. And then my minute hand, 2:30. That looks like that. It's a half an hour, so it's half past the hour. And then if I want to write what that looks like, 2:30. Okay, so is it 2:30 in the morning or is it 2:30 in the afternoon if he's going to practice? It's going to be 2:30 in the afternoon or PM. Okay, now let's do Luke. Luke is practice at 4:15. So let's draw the hour hand first. It's going to be pointing at the 4. The minute hand is going to be a quarter past the hour, so it's going to be pointing at the 3. 4:15 is a quarter past 4 o'clock. Let's write our time as 4:15. Is he going to practice at 4:15 in the morning or 4:15 in the afternoon? He's going at the same time, Derek. He's going in the afternoon, so we're going to say PM. All right. Number 21. The boat picked up passengers every half hour. If the first boat arrives at 8 a.m., when will the fourth boat arrive? Okay, so we're starting at 8 a.m. We know that the boat picks up passengers every half an hour. So if the boat arrives at 8 a.m., when will the fourth boat arrive? So we leave at 8 a.m. The first boat is going to leave at 8:30. Half an hour, right? Then another half an hour, 9 o'clock. Another half an hour, 9:30. Another half an hour, because want to know when the fourth boat arrives, will be 10 o'clock. a.m. Okay, well, let's turn the page to 6:35. I'm sorry, 6:34. Do one more review. We're going to do this together. Okay, show the ways to write and use time. So draw the hands to show the time. So the time on the digital clock is 4 o'clock. So you guys know how to do this. I'm going to draw our hour hand first. It's going to be pointing right at the 4. Then our minute hand, we know when it's at the top, it is o'clock. So that's what 4 o'clock looks like. Okay, now we're going to write the time for this one over here. We're going to write the time. So let's look at the hour hand. It is between the 10 and the 11, means it's still the 10 o'clock hour. And it's pointing down at the 6, and I already know that that's a half an hour or 30 minutes. So the hour is 10, the minutes are 30. If you forget, you can always skip count around, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, let's do this one over here. Let's skip count by 5s to tell the time. Okay, so let's look at the hour hand first. It's between the 9 and the 10. That means it's still the 9 o'clock hour. If we skip count it around, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'm going to write 9:30. Whoops, my other thing. 35. Okay. This one says, draw the hands, write the time. 5:15. Okay, let's do our hour hand first. So it's going to be pointing at the 5. It's the 5 o'clock hour. Now a quarter past is a quarter hour, which is 15 minutes. So it's going to, if you don't already know by memory, it's going to point right at that 3. Okay, it's 15 minutes, so 5, 10, 15. Okay, let's do 5:30 now. Our hour hand is at the 5. We're still in the 5 o'clock hour. Our minute hand is going to be half past the hour, so halfway around the clock. Halfway around the clock is right there. Okay, so let's go back and write our times. Our time for this clock was 5:15. Okay, 5:15 is 15 minutes past 5 o'clock. 5:30, the hour is 5. Half an hour, 30 minutes. Okay, and that's it. No homework. You can go over and click the link and retake that fun game quiz to get ready for our test tomorrow. And I would recommend doing that. I think it was pretty fun for you guys, and it'll get you really ready for that test so you do really well. Okay, see you in the next lesson.